You are now listening to Playbook Radio. Here is your host, Martin Williams.
And welcome to Playbook Radio. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. And we do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. All the links to the podcast can be found at gameplanplaybook.com. That's gameplanplaybook.com. So today what I wanted to talk to you about is belief and it being the rate limiting factor. So in science, when you learn about how certain reactions happen and the speed at which they happen, you learn about something called the rate limiting factor, So the rate limiting factor is basically what is the thing that is causing the rate to not be as fast as it could be. I'm using highly simple terminology here, but I just want you to get the point. There's something that's causing that reaction not to happen at a faster rate. So scientists have figured out that it's called the rate limiting factor. So when it comes to your goals, when you set a goal and you go through the first 4 steps, which is having a burning desire, defining that desire, creating a goal, and then making a decision to pursue it, this is where a lot of people meet their first bit of resistance because they haven't really dealt with their beliefs. And so your beliefs about whatever it is that you're trying to make happen in your life, your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about your ability to make it happen, whatever it is, are going to be the rate limiting factor. It's going to be one of the major factors in how fast it happens for you, or if it happens at all. There are a lot of people who are more than capable, more than qualified, more than able to have what it is that they want, but they have such a low belief in themselves that it's hard for them to make it happen. I'm reminded of a story that I heard about Derek Jeter, who's a Hall of Fame baseball player. He's won 5 world championships, I believe, for the New York Yankees, and he was the captain and the face of the New York Yankees for many years. And one time they interviewed him and they asked him about his approach at the plate. And his approach was very simple in this interview. He said, every time I go up to hit, I believe I'm going to get a hit. So if you understand baseball, in baseball, the success rate on average is about 25 to 27%, depending on the season that you're watching. So if you bat over 300 or hit the ball over 30% of the time, that is, hit the ball where it doesn't get caught and you reach base, you're considered a good player. In fact, you're considered one of the better players. So a 30% success rate makes you one of the better players in baseball. And Derek Jeter retired with a career average around that 30% mark. But isn't it interesting that he didn't go up to the plate with the belief that he would hit 30% of the time? He went up to the plate with the belief that he would hit it 100% of the time. Okay. That is quite a seismic shift in belief, because when you think about the people around you, when you think about your own successes, you know that you've had failures, you know you've fallen short, but you probably didn't have the mindset that Derek Jeter had, that whenever you set out to do something, it would work. And what I want you to understand is that a lot of people say, well, I want to guard against overconfidence. But for me, I don't think that that's something you need to guard against. As a matter of fact, I would rather you be overconfident than underconfident. It's much easier to bring an overconfident person back to the mean than it is to bring someone who has zero confidence in themselves up to the point that they feel like they can attempt something. I'd much rather you be overconfident, okay? Because we can make the tweaks of, being detail oriented and making your plan and all the things that we'll get to in the playbook. But I'd much rather you be overconfident, because you have to have an abundance of confidence to be successful. Derek Jeter had to believe every time he got up to the plate that he was going to get a hit. And even with that mindset, he only hit the ball 30% of the time. But in hitting the ball 30% of the time, he became a Hall of Famer. He became a world champion. Okay? Who cares if only 20% of your sales posts yield any money? Who cares if only 10% of the things that you launch make any money? That 10% can create abundance far beyond what the average person has. There's a guy I follow on X, and he says that only 4% of the money, 4% of the things that he attempts as far as businesses ever yield a profit, right? Now, I don't know what criteria he's using, but these are his words, so I'm going to take him at his word. He said only 4% make any money out of 70 plus things that he's tried. And these are like websites, these are like actual businesses. Okay. But he lives in Bali. He lives overseas. I think he's from Europe, but he lives overseas. He certainly has enough money to travel here and there across the world and live in different parts of the world. Right. So he lives pretty much better than virtually anyone else that you know or I know. And he's not tied down to anything. Like, he's able to go from country to country and not miss a step. Okay. Because it's this mentality of, I'm going to keep going to the plate. Like Derek Jeter, it was his job to go to the plate. So he had to go to the plate. But this guy, he has made up in his mind that he's going to keep trying, because he has that confidence that one of these things are going to work, right? One of these things will work. So it's not a matter of finding the right thing. It's really about taking swings and having the confidence that every time you take a swing, you're going to make contact, you're going to get a hit. Having that confidence in yourself to go after your dream, regardless of who around you has done it, regardless of who you know has done it. Maybe you want to be in business for yourself. No one around you has ever done it before, but that means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Just because no one around you has done it doesn't mean it can't be done. It can absolutely be done. You just got to be the one that says, when I step up to the plate, I'm going to make a hit. When I launch this thing, it's going to be the biggest thing going. When I put this out, millions of people are going to run to that payment link. When I go and lose weight, I'm going to lose this weight. It's going to come off and I'm going to keep it off, right? When I put in this offer for this house, I'm going to get it. That's the confidence you have to have. It's real simple. It's going to work. But when you have that confidence and you believe in yourself, believe me, you will get a lot closer. You'll get there a lot faster, right? Because belief is a rate limiting factor. You'll get there a lot quicker if you fix your beliefs. So thank you so much for listening. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Playbook Radio. If this episode helped you, please share it with family and friends. For more about Playbook strategies, please go to GameplanPlaybook.com.